All right, folks, back up on the parkway and just got dropped off by my shuttle driver, Homer. It was really nice to work with him for the last couple days. He and his wife, Teresa. Today, we're heading into Glasgow. So we got to leaving Delville behind and heading into Glasgow. So the terrain is really favorable today. I mean, literally most of it is downhill, believe it or not. I think we've got a couple little spots, where we're going to have to climb. There's never anything that's completely downhill. But for the most part, it's pretty favorable terrain. So we got 15.4 miles is the plan. And so a little bit of a lighter day today. So before leaving the hostel today, I stuck around for the breakfast. Miss Beth there, who runs the hostel, does a great job with breakfast, but I've been doing such big miles the last couple of days that I have to start early, and unfortunately I've been missing their breakfast. So today, since I was only doing 15, I decided to start a little bit later and go ahead and have the breakfast. So we're already after 9 o'clock, just now getting started. So we should be the plan is to go down, the next 15 miles, and ultimately we cross over the James River. So I'll have a pickup waiting for me at James River. So that's the plan. So should be there by 5 o'clock. Should be a pretty good day. The weather's going to get, the temperatures will get much warmer as the day progresses. I think that we're probably in the 40s now, so it's a pretty nice day. But it's going to get up almost to 80, so it's going to get warm pretty quick. So I got the shorts on today, and I'm sure I'll be shedding this jacket. But yep, looking forward to getting it done. So we'll see what we get into. Hope everybody's having a great day, and we'll catch up with you down the trail. All right, kind of navigating through some rocks. Breaks up the trail a little bit. It's windy again. It's been windy every day, it seems like. At least it's not cold and windy. Yep, see y'all down the trail. All right, folks, we got to our first view of the day. Kind of cool how it steps up. Check that out. Wow. Rock slide over there. What a valley. Called Thunder Ridge Overlook. Wow, it's windy. Very nice. All right, this is where we came from, and this is where we're going. That's level. That's uphill. So there are some hills to climb on this particular hike, evidently. I think there's going to be a view not too far up here, so we'll catch that. And then we got another one of those steep downhills until we come up to a fairly steep uphill, which will be the biggest of the uphills today. So I think it's called Highcock Knob or something like that. So that's a little ways off yet. So we're going to climb this hill and see what we got in terms of a view at the top. Okay, we just came off the trail right there. And this is the view that I anticipated at the top of this hill. Yeah. Zoom in. Ooh. There we go. This is a no-name view. There's not a name to this particular spot, but pretty good view regardless. All right, let's head on up the trail. Okay, we've been headed down pretty steady downhill. Again, we have one sharp incline left for today, and I think it's going to begin right after this gap. This gap is called Petite's Gap. Petite's, which is, you know, P-I-T-I-T-E-S, Petite Gap. Pretty popular, evidently. I did walk by probably 10 section hikers, or day hikers, I guess. So they're probably coming back here. This is probably their cars. So they'll call it a day. For us, however, we got a little more to do. It's almost noon, and I've got 10 miles to go, and at a steady, comfortable pace of 2 miles per hour. Easy math tells us that's five hours, so we should be done by 5, which just happens to be my extraction time from the James River Bridge. So make a good steady pace. We're on pace to be where we need to be when we need to be there. So today's going well. So let's head up this hill, and I know that there's at least one view as we get too close to the top, and then we'll head down again. So we'll see what that looks like. All right, everybody, it's straight up noon, so I've decided to stop and take a little break, have a little lunch, although the bugs are flying everywhere. I guess you can probably see them, so I don't know if I'll stay here very long, but I don't know if there's any sanctuary. I mean, there seem to be everywhere right now. But anyway, on the way back from the trail yesterday, I had the driver stop and got me some future lunch. Actually, I got a sub, a 12-inch sub, which I ate last night, and then I got a 6-inch sub as well. So had it in the refrigerator overnight, and a pack of chips and trusty Gatorade. So that's my plan for lunch. I'm gonna knock it down real quick and finish climbing this hill. Talk to you a little later. All right, everybody, we reached the top of that hill, and hike, I think it's called High Rock Knob. Not a lot of great views. I mean, there's beautiful views, you know, to the naked eye out through here. You can see deep back through there, but I'm sure with all these trees, it's not such a awesome view with the video. But pretty nice spot for sure. This wind is very welcomed, not only to keep us a little bit cooler, but hopefully also to keep these gnats, pesky gnats, are just flying everywhere. And yes, I did take a shower last night, so maybe that's the problem. I smell too good. Smell really bad, maybe they won't bother you. I'll try that tomorrow. All right, here we go, down the hill. Look at this area, folks. I'm sure it was a place where they experienced some fires. I don't know when. Start to see some green undergrowth, but yeah, it's kind of eerie looking actually. See how everything kind of burnt halfway up. Okay, so we are almost so we're just about 6 miles now from our pickup. Making good progress. It's I've been on a lot of this trail where it's been slightly down or flat or slightly up around the hillsides, kind of meandering for miles. And that's okay. I mean, I'm not like I'm climbing, but just kind of monotonous, long walks around the hillsides. So, yeah, as soon as we come across something really interesting, we'll definitely stop and take a peek. But until then, I'm just going to keep on pressing on and making it towards the river. Okay, folks, we are climbing what I hope is our last mountain. See all these grayish white rocks. You see them at a distance up in here. It kind of looks like there's snow on the ground. Promise you it's not snow. Pretty warm today. It's supposed to reach a high of 79. I think we're about there. So, all right, I'm gonna climb the rest of this mountain. We'll catch up with you down the path. All right. Looks like we found our, excuse me, our very first view of the James River. You can see down below it. Kind of winding its way. Very nice through this valley. So I'm sure we'll have better shots, of course, as we get closer, but this is the first one. You can see forever out through there. All right, let's get down the trail. All right, everybody, we're still heading down the hill. That's a good thing. I tell you what, I would be dreading this climb in a big way if I was hiking southbound and had to come up this. It would be so brutal. The other challenge about this section too is there's just not been a lot of water. You can see how rocky it's been. It's most of the hiking we've been doing is from the Blue Ridge Parkway downhill through these rocky ledges and things of that nature. Not really finding a lot of springs or water sources, and quite often the water sources are laying way down in the middle of that gap, way down there somewhere. And we just hadn't crossed a lot of those yet. So this is probably one of the first days, not the first day, but one of the first days since I've started that I've had to be a little concerned about the water consumption, as well as where's the next water source. How far do I have to go to find the next water source? Am I going to have enough water, So, yeah, these are all things you got to kind of manage when you're managing your hike. So, we're making good progress yet here. I've got 3:30. I'm going to have about a little more than 2 miles to our pickup point. I'm not really going real fast. In fact, I'd say I've slowed down my average, because I don't think it pays to go too fast down these hills, but I think we're still on pace, and we should be down to the James River in just maybe in a little over an hour. So yeah, we'll get back to you as we get closer. I think we found our water source. Of course, it always comes right at the end of the day when you don't need it. Just been walking along the side of this creek. I wish I knew the name of it. I have to research. But I'm sure it leads into as a tributary into the James River. A little question of that. Hey, I had someone ask me about, hey, when do you think you're going to be out of Virginia? Good question, because I guess it does seem like I've been here a long time. And Virginia happens to be the largest state on the Appalachian Trail in terms of trail miles. It's has 557 miles, I believe is the official number, of the entire Appalachian Trail runs through Virginia. So very close to 1/4 of the entire trail is in Virginia. So the answer to the question is when you're going to come out of Virginia is, most people would probably knock that many miles out in the course of 6 weeks. So it's still a couple more weeks for me, and I know it's hard to visualize when you're just hear me talking about small towns like Delville and Glasgow, and Waynesboro is going to be the next one we're going to come up on. These are places you're not familiar with probably unless you're from Virginia. And but we're getting pretty close to Shenandoah National Park, which I really look forward to seeing and being a part of that. We'll be there probably within the next, I'm going to call it a week. We may be there, maybe. And then from there, you're not too far from the border of West Virginia. And then, so finally you get yourself out of Virginia. There is a little bit of a syndrome that happens with hikers. They call it the Virginia blues, because I guess some hikers, they feel progress as they move from state to state. And if they're not moving out of Virginia, then I guess they get a little depressed about that. I don't really have that issue. For me, every mile is just another mile, regardless of where it is. I don't really mark that as my progress. My progress is whatever I plan to do over the course of a week or a few days or however long it takes me to get to the next trail town. That's kind of my mission. And I build out the plan and execute the plan. And from there, I feel like I've had a sense of accomplishment, if you will. So I don't really think too much about the state-to-state stuff. Maybe later on when the states get smaller and we start going through them a little bit faster, then that might be something I'll start considering. But yeah. So this trek over the last 3 days, coming from Delville to Glasgow, we've done, when I finish here in the next mile or two, sorry, that's why I like to watch the trail. When I get done here in the next mile or two, we will have done 55 miles in 3 days. And I haven't yet, but you could extrapolate that over the course of 7 days, and that would be some pretty significant miles. But the fact is, I'm not going to do 7 days with these type of miles. I'm going to start to cool it down a little bit. In fact, tomorrow I've got a plan that may allow me to just do 11 miles, because I think I need a little bit of a rest. But yeah, that's kind of more about how I consider the progress and track against the plan and ultimately the targets and the successes. How are we doing versus our mission for the week? So far we're doing pretty good. All right, I'm gonna let you go for now, and we'll catch up again when we get here to the James River Bridge. This hike has turned into a nice, peaceful walk in a park. So nice. Much cooler down here. As you can see, I'm walking right beside the river now. That's the James River. It's all shaded, cool breezes. Just what I needed when I needed it. I can't wait to have some really cold water, or maybe some Gatorade would be really nice. So, yeah, I don't know if y'all can see it, probably not, but over there's our destination. I'll peek it through if I can. See the bridge is crossing. That's the James River footbridge, so we're going to go there, walk across that bridge. All right, let's get there. All right, we have made it to the base of the footbridge. Looks like there's a party going on here. People jumping off the bridge and swimming in the river and having a big time. I tell you right now, you wouldn't have to tempt me very much. If I didn't have a shuttle to catch, I'd be jumping. Oh, there's Lance standing in line to jump. Very nice. Very nice. Alright, so that is the James River footbridge, which is the longest footbridge on the Appalachian Trail. I might be wrong, but I think that I read it's 636 feet long. It seems a little long to me, but who knows? Looks like they're having a lot of fun down there. We're right up at the parking lot, and I'm gonna go with these two guys. We're all going to the same place, actually. We're gonna meet this shuttle driver, and he's gonna take us back to the hostel.